welcome to Driving Double Feature Podcast. All right, have a good night, everybody.
I gotta go. It's
It's
5:40.
5:40. It's 5:40. I don't care. We watched Lake Mungo. Whatever. Who cares? I gotta go. I gotta leave. Just kidding. Hello and welcome to Driving Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan,
I'm Ryan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about 2 movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get into this week's movie, I want to talk to you about our Patreon. If you head over to patreon.com/Driving Double Feature Podcast, you get fun games, conversations, and you help support the channel just for $5 a month. No main show content is locked behind there, and all proceeds will go to Ryan's time in rehab. So that'll help him out there.
Don't say that.
Don't say what? Oh, sorry. I won't tell them. I won't tell them anything. Just kidding. Ryan's not in rehab. Everything's good. He hasn't had the fall off yet. Eventually we'll go through our drug years, and those will be our best years creatively, but behind the
You think I-
scenes.
you think I'm gonna be the drug addict out of the two of us?
Yeah, probably not. You're right. Whatever. All right. Let's get into the movie. Let's just get into it. 2008, Lake Mungo, Australian horror movie. Found footage mockumentary. I guess it's not really found footage. This movie gets titled found footage. So it's more mockumentary than anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not comedy.
Rob Reiner shows up and
Mhm.
starts talking about this dead girl.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, turn the volume up to 11 on the ghost tape,
Mm,
and then they can
Yep.
hear it better." Yeah.
This ghost tape goes to 11.
Why? Yeah, there. Yeah, it's great. It's this is Spinal Tap for horror movies.
hmm
But yeah, so Lake Mungo. Have you ever heard of this movie before, Ryan?
I've heard of it for the longest time. I had no idea what it was about, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard it's kind of built up a really strong cult following for a bit. I've been interested in it, but I knew about it when it came out because do you remember Eight Films to Die For? Is what it was called.
Mm,
It was like a film
mm,
festival they would do yearly at theaters, and they'd show 8 independent horror movies. And they were usually trash. I went one year with my dad, and we were there, and I think every movie we saw was bad. I don't think we saw a single good movie that day.
do
Uh,
you remember any of them?
yeah, one of them was Nightmare Man, which was a girl being haunted by a man in the devil mask. There was Mulberry Street, which was about a bunch of a giant rat king, how rats can get all tied together. That's attacking
Yeah.
people. Um, and then there was one called Crazy Eights. I don't that one was took place in an asylum. Uh,
Wow. Hmm.
yeah, maybe I'm getting the name wrong, but anyway, so this one played a year, and I remember looking through the lineup and going, I'm not gonna do it this year. I remember being like, I don't have to do it. So this year got skipped, but Lake Mungo actually kind of always stood out to me because I remember that one being the one where I was like, oh, that actually looks kind of interesting. So it's been on my watch list for a little bit. Um, but yeah, this is a ghost movie. I guess it's hard. It's a little hard to explain. I guess it opens with a lake and a girl drowns in it. Oh, what are you smiling about?
I just so you know, when I'm watching this movie, and despite the quality of it, I'm just like, it's gonna be so hard to. It's like it's just people talking.
Yeah, it's like if we were just sitting around talking about a documentary, because that's what's interesting about this movie. Um, I've seen found footage movies do this before, where it starts as a documentary and then it kind of devolves as it goes on. This is just like watching we put on a true crime or ghost documentary or something. It's played very straight.
Very straight. I mean, even the supernatural elements in this, like they're when they're explaining oh, we saw it like a dead girl or whatever. I was just kind of
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, we saw this dead girl. You know, it was a little. We were a little just surprised and just didn't know what to do about it. It was just
It's I and honestly, this movie, it's a horror movie. And it's about ghosts and stuff, but it's more depressing than it is scary. because it's more about dealing with grief, dealing with the death of their daughter than anything, and what they have to, how they cope with it, pretty much. Because what it is it's a family. It's a son, mom, and dad, and their daughter drowns in a lake, and they get the body later, and she's dead. And they show the body on the camera, and it's talking with the family and how they deal with the ghost, or not with the ghost yet, but with the death of their daughter. And if one thing is I think the performances are surprisingly good here. I think they do a very convincing job of sounding like it's a documentary, because there's a lot of ums and pauses.
That's one thing I did. I mean, all everybody in this movie is an actor, but
Hmm.
if you didn't know they were actors and somebody said, here's this documentary or whatever, I don't think you would know the difference.
No, I think that's what helps with like the creepy factor, maybe the cult status, is like it feels authentic. It feels very authentic, and it doesn't go for anything cheap. And as we'll talk about later, the ghost stuff comes up, but there's always like, most of the time there's an explanation to it. It's like, oh, well, this is what happened, and like this is what was going on. So I that's part of like the creepy factor, is like it could be real, it couldn't be real. Of course, it's not real, but to somebody it could be. Especially because I guess the director of this movie, after this came out, he did a few interviews and then he just completely disappeared. Like no one, like no interviews, no one really could get in touch with him. He kind of just disappeared
He's
into.
still missing?
No, no, no. He recently produced that Late Night with the Devil movie or whatever. I guess he came back to executive produce
Wow.
that. Yeah, but I
And
guess,
he's like, I can't wait to use all this AI
oh,
imagery stuff.
finally AI. Oh God, I don't have to work on a
So,
movie anymore.
yeah, he was just like, movies are too hard. And then
Uh,
when he found out AI could just make stuff for him, he's like, sign me up. I'm back,
oh yeah.
baby.
Yeah, art's back. But yeah, no, I think that's part of an interesting thing. Like he just disappeared, so that nobody could talk to this guy about this
He
movie.
felt he drowned in a lake. He was
Yeah,
in
he
Lake
drowned.
Mungo.
He was in Lake Mungo the whole time. That'll be Lake Mungo too, about the director drowning. Hmm.
Oh yeah, it'll be something like the crew comes in, like the crew that was filming this documentary was being
Hmm.
haunted this whole time.
That would be great. No, what I so they talk about what happens is the son gets really into photography. So the son ends up taking pictures, and there she is. There's this girl, and well, the daughter's in the background, and she's like a ghostly figure. And it feels very like basic. At least I thought it did. It was going to be like, okay, they're just talking about a ghost, and it's going to get crazier and crazier. Like there's going to be more to this haunting. Um, this movie does have twists, and it gets crazier than you would expect, but it not not like a ghost type thing, because they find out the son faked all the ghost pictures. All of them were completely fake, like superimposed. When that happened, that was a huge twist to me. I was like, "Are you serious?" So the ghost part of this movie isn't real? Are you? It's I don't know. I thought it was a fun little
You're
addition.
like, well, you're like, what happened to my ghost movie?
Yeah, and then I'm like scared that I'm not watching a horror movie for October.
They're just like, oh fuck, I picked this documentary.
Yeah, I just picked a real movie. Uh, but yeah, he describes it, and he's like, I superimposed her into all the photos, and kind of the mom's really upset about it. The dad's dealing with it in his own quiet way.
Well, didn't like the mom was like still in disbelief. She's like,
Mhm.
I don't think so. I think that's like I still don't trust that he did that.
Yeah, yeah, because we kind of learned the mom is dealing with it like the hardest out of everybody, and it feels like she's getting played with the most in it. She because
Why
she
didn't
and
someone just tell her to get over it?
oh yeah, it's that easy. Just hey, she's dead. Whatever. Just move on.
Get a
Um,
new daughter.
yeah, there we go. Just try for another kid. It's like when your pet dies, you like get a new pet to kind of heal that a little bit.
Well, yeah, yeah, anytime there's a problem in a marriage or a family, just to
Oh,
have another baby. That's the solution.
oh yeah, bring another person into the world to save the marriage. That'll work every time.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Um, but yeah, so the mom ends up getting like oh, what do you call those people? Those liars? Uh
The psychics.
yeah, oh sorry. Yeah, psychics comes in and talks about like, just gives her like visions of the home. And like she ends up seeing her daughter in her visions, and the dad ends up seeing something too. He sees a ghost at one point. We don't see it as the viewers. um but that takes a weird twist too, because their daughter was seeing this same psychic before without any of their knowledge. The movie ends up being about how the daughter had a whole second life away from the family. That's like which is insane to me.
I I was kind of wondering though, like what was the reasoning behind that? Like, because
Yeah.
that didn't it didn't seem like that really played too much into
No.
an effect of what happened. Because there was like the whole reason she was like she went to this psychic beforehand and was basically just like, oh, I'm having these really bad dreams and they're so
Hmm.
vivid and real.
Yeah.
And the psychic was like asking her like really personal questions like, well, what's going on in your life? And
Hmm.
apparently like so when they were like playing videos of their house, they're like, oh my God, we saw a ghost like right here. See, there she is. But turned out it was like their neighbor that was like breaking into their house.
When that happened, I laughed out loud, but like not in a bad way. I was just like, what the hell? Because yeah, they're like, oh, in that fake picture, if you look to the right, there's another figure. And there's like a face like poking out of the side. And like I guess the camera just caught it at just the right
Yeah,
moment.
his name was like Ratatouille or something,
Yeah, it
but
was the rat, right? Yeah.
no, I did make the joke 'cause it was like Brett Toohey or something his name was,
That's
and it was
right.
like
Yeah,
I
it
was like
was like Brett
Ratatouille.
Toohey.
I was like Ratatouille.
What the hell kind of name is that? This is after Ratatouille as well. So
Yeah, he was just like, oh, I love Remy the rat, man.
I need a Ratatouille reference in here. And then it ends up being like a sex scandal because the daughter has like a hidden box with a tape on it of her having sex with the neighbor who she babysitted the kids for. And she's underage, by the way. So like there's this like footage and they show it of her having sex with an older man. And I once again,
And the wife too, and the wife was
oh
there
yeah,
too.
sorry. The wife was there too, which is like another twist on top of this. I think maybe that's why I found the movie so interesting, because it would keep having these twists and turns, but in no way were they really like horror related. They do at the end, I think, but like there for a little bit, it's nothing horror related.
Um, the thing, okay, so in the context of this movie, so I mean, like, I'm assuming like, so you're assuming like, they're making this documentary, like we're supposed to in our minds pretend this is a real documentary,
Yes, yeah.
and somehow like the parents were able to find this footage of their daughter having sex with an older man, and
Yeah.
then they're like, the filmmakers are like, can we put it in the movie? And they're like, sure, like
I
let's
didn't even think
take
about that.
like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
have this footage of my daughter being sexually assaulted by
Yeah,
our neighbor.
because they don't even censor it, because it's like him
No,
like humping her, and yeah, they don't censor. I didn't even think about that, where it's like they just like the parents were like, yeah, yeah, show our underage daughter having sex.
like they were just like, okay, like, yeah, like
Yeah.
here's the tape. Like
Was she underage?
she was 16, which I'm not sure about
Australia.
consent,
Yeah.
Australian consent, but she was at least 16, so however you want to, if whatever the law is, it's very icky
Oh yeah,
regardless.
exactly. It came out and it was still very like gross.
But still, even if like that was the case, even if she was like 18, for instance, I wouldn't be like, yeah, like here's a sex tape of my daughter.
Yeah,
Like you want
exactly.
you want it? Like
Yeah, it's
my
no,
dead daughter. You want to see my dead daughter having sex?
it's public domain. Come on, you can't that's lost media if you don't show it. God, what you want lost media in the world? So I did look it up, and it is
But
16 in Australia, so I guess it's fine. Um,
legally speaking, it's good. Morality's sake,
it's
still bad.
pretty gross morality. But but so that all happens, but then we like uncover a little bit more about the girl's past, and it almost comes in like pretty close to the end of the movie about her going on a trip to Lake Mungo with the school, and it's like the one jump scare in this movie. She's like filming out in the dark, and then they're like the ghostly apparition shows up and like
Well,
comes up to the camera.
like first, it was like the family
Yeah.
went to Lake Mungo because during the party, like somebody had like footage of the daughter like burying her cell phone in the beach
Hmm.
and was basically just like leaving it there. So like the family's like, oh, like, we got to go to Lake Mungo, and they find it
Hmm.
and they like pull up the footage from her phone, and like you said, it's like the little like ghost thing like just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, and through like the psychic and everything, they kind of at least the mom is like, "Oh, I kind of have a feeling that the daughter had accepted death. Like she knew death was coming and she was going to take it." And I like that the dad kind of had a counter argument. She's like, "No, I don't think so. I think we're just all scared to death at the end of the day." They of course they aren't talking to each other. It's only to the camera. Um, but yeah, and then he also says it looks exactly like the body that they get out of the lake at the beginning of the movie, which once again
Right.
they very clearly show that body.
I mean, it's clear. I guess that was supposed to be like she saw like her future.
Yeah, her own death there.
Yeah,
She,
but did they say how she died? Like I know she drowned, obviously, but are we to assume that she basically saw this apparition and then just by happenstance she died later? Just by like she was drowning, or like are they saying like this ghost drowned her?
I don't know. I guess it doesn't really. I mean, it's one of those movies. It doesn't give you a concrete answer. The way I interpreted it was that she just saw this ghost of her dead body, and it was just kind of a sign that she was going to die. I don't really think it was a ghost that drowned
Well,
her.
why didn't she just stay out of the water then?
Because she accepted her death. That's the theory I'm going for.
Well,
She's just like, well,
well,
I'm bound. I'm not going to stay
if
out of
she,
water my whole life. Come on now. I'm
I,
not missing a chance to go to
I,
the
I,
lake.
I'm not getting rid of this moment. In fact, I'm
Um,
gonna go get my swimsuit on and go jump in right now.
but who knows? It also could have been suicide, right? Because I guess like it's about trauma in a way. She had to deal with having that sexual footage that she had. She went to a psychic, seemed to have a lot of issues. So maybe there was more to it.
That's true. I'll give
Yeah.
you that. I mean, it does it when you kind of take all the elements of her like dark past and
Hmm.
like all this other trauma that she went through, maybe it was just gonna becoming too much for her. And when she kind of saw that, she was saying like, oh, like this is how I'm supposed to die, and I'm gonna go accept it right now.
Maybe. Who knows? It's not a movie that.
Maybe.
It's not a movie about that, really. I guess at the end of the day, the movie's more about how the family deals with the situation because, I mean, you don't have the daughter's perspective. So it kind of wraps around there. They talk about her seeing the apparition, and then everything just starts to feel better. Like they see that footage, and the whole family kind of just they move on. They end up cleaning the kid's room and they move out of the house and everybody seems a lot happier. So maybe it was for the better. Who knows? I'm
Maybe
just
maybe the
kidding.
daughter was the cause of all their problems, and once she
Yeah,
left, I mean, that family was totally fine.
yeah, they were like, "Wow, we're actually doing all right here." No, I don't think so. But they were given their chance to move on, and it keeps going. But the end credits they show a little more of the ghost photos at the end, so there's a bit more to it. But I'd say surprisingly, this movie ends on a happy note.
It does. I mean, it's not like it 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 ends with hopefulness of it's just like they've accepted that their daughter is dead, and they
Hmm.
kind of got the closure that they were looking for.
Hmm.
And But like the whole thing was is like they went back to all those doctored photos that the son did,
Yeah.
and it was like, no, she was there the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, had
Ooh.
like she was in all the photos, just like, but it'd be something like, like the ghost would be like out in the open. It's like, no, you see that bush right there? She was there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's even this movie has that Sasquatch moment where the son's wearing a hoodie in the forest
Oh
and they
yeah.
like
And they're
film
like,
it.
what is that?
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, it's the McPherson tapes or some shit." Like they call it that. That's like the alien tape people, but still, it's like, "Oh yeah, on this tape you see her." It's like, no, that was me in a jacket. I was wearing her jacket, which is kind of weird. Um, but yeah, I guess I actually thought this was a really good movie. I thought it was really neat how it was done. Um, I wouldn't say like pick this and you'll be frightened, even though I've heard people like are really scared by this movie.
Do you think
I
somebody watched this movie and just like, oh like just
Yeah,
shit their pants, like
yeah, I
oh my
know.
God.
Yeah, I read a review where somebody like said they watched it on a laptop at like 2 in the morning and it scared the crap out of them.
They're
Maybe
just like, oh, I
maybe if
cannot sleep.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I can't sleep at all.
Yeah, maybe if like you were confused and you thought this movie was real, if you thought it was a real documentary, maybe. But once you get into the end with the her seeing her dead self later, then you're losing a little bit of that realism, right?
What do you mean? I see my dead self all the time.
Oh, you might want to go get checked. I know a really good psychic that can help you out. Uh, he's friends with my
No.
neighbor that I babysit his kids.
Oh.
Uh,
No, no, Nathan, you're too old.
I know. Yeah, I'm definitely above the age range for babysitting kids. I don't think anyone would want that. I wouldn't want it either. I couldn't even imagine. I hate
That was kind of
kids.
messed up, right? No, that was kind of messed up though, and like you said, like they met to the psychic, and then like later they went back to the psychic, and he's just like, yeah, yeah, I was helping her this whole time, and no, I chose not to tell them at all because of the
Yeah.
her wishes, and I'm like, what? Like you didn't
Yeah.
say anything?
Yeah, yeah. He was like, "Oh, patient confidentiality or some crap like that." And the mom's like, no. Like, I can't believe you wouldn't say anything." Uh, yeah, that
I
I
would
think
have
that's
been
horrible.
livid. Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
been livid if especially if I was like coming to you specifically looking for closure,
Yeah.
and you didn't mention like a key element of my daughter's life.
Yeah, that's awful. No, yeah, I guess that's another little twist that they throw in the movie. But we already talked about that, where that one didn't feel as like maybe genuine or like plot turning. Like he's kind of like, "Oh yeah, I saw her. She was troubled," and then it doesn't really do anything with the plot. Just that people were screwing with the family.
Yeah. Um, I thought it was decent. Um, it was a little slower than I
Hmm.
would have thinking it was going to be. But then again, I had no idea what to expect, and I was kind of sitting down thinking this was going to be like a horror, like a real, like oh, like a scary movie, and
Yeah,
it's like documentary, which I'm not opposed to. Um, it was it was good. I mean, I do applaud like the movie made it feel very real.
hmm,
Um, despite knowing it was a movie, like the actors in it, made me feel like, oh, this was like real people.
yeah,
And I guess I was kind of hoping for a little more of the horror elements to be a little more prevalent.
yeah.
But uh, as a whole, though, I mean, I think it's a very well-made movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I liked it. Like you said, I like what they went for with the documentary. Felt authentic. I don't know. I felt like the way it was laid out was really interesting, and especially in an age of found footage movies, which were like in 2008, really like strong and up and coming. This one felt a little more dialed back, which I can appreciate to the point where like it's not even found footage. This is not a found footage movie, which I see it listed as all the time. It's
It's really
similar,
not. I mean,
but
there's like one found like the scene with her, like the phone or whatever,
yeah,
but even then that'd be a stretch calling this a found footage movie.
yeah, definitely. But personally, I'd recommend it. I think you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, I would say I'd give it a light recommend. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that wraps it up for this one. But Ryan, what are we covering on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, we are going to be talking about Cemetery Man, and that is streaming on Tubi right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch that one. And if you want to email us, you can email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast at gmail.com. You can head over to YouTube, subscribe to us over there. Be sure to like this video podcast wherever you're listening to this from. But until next time.
Until next time.